Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach. Got back from our hike that we did this afternoon, so I've got I got a different shirt on and it's a little sweaty, but you know, is what it is. Wanted to do another recording. Maybe I'll do one later tonight, but before I move on, I wanted to do one negative test with this and say that is not rock create. So we're going to say var is empty is equal to string is null or empty a. Oh, come on. You can type, Jason. Yeah, it's possible. Actually, this one should also have a semicolon after it because, you know, we're good people in the world. We really don't need these to be literals. So I'm going to do that just to clean it up a little bit. And we'll do the same thing down here. And that we should say is equal to 0 because we should not have any excuse me, we should not have any candidates in the second case. And we don't. Okay, good. All right. So what is the next thing is doing? As I was on the hike, and of course, paying attention to my wife, but I was also thinking a little bit about rock options. One of the things I realized is allow warnings is really not needed either because, again, this is code that's compiled. So it's going to be part of your project. And your project settings are actually going to determine whether you want to allow warnings or not. So really what this becomes down to is, do you want serialization options? Okay. So what I'm going to do is just delete these two, take this, put it up there, get rid of that, and we're going to have those two. Okay. And the reason I'm doing this is because at some point I'm going to come back and add this in. Now the problem is, as I realize, I'm going to have an option here to say serialization option. I have to actually read that at compile time from the generator, not at runtime, because I need that to determine, do I actually generate a mock that is going to be serializable? So that's going to be a little, oh, how shall I say, fun to do. I honestly don't know how I'm going to do it right now. I'm guessing what I'll have to do is say in the invocation, look at the arguments and determine if a literal value is passed in. And it has to be a literal of the enumeration value. It can't be anything else, because if it's anything else, you could start getting all weird as to how to determine what's actually being passed into you. So I don't want to do that. I want to be very clear and straightforward, but I have to somehow say here, do you want this option or not? But again, I don't want to handle that right now. I want to just move on with this. Okay. So that being said, now I have to go into the generator and say, okay, well, what did I do here? And yeah, I got to clean that up. Definitely have to clean that up. Okay, so this is going to be the same, except that we don't say map to receiver, we're going to say rock receiver. Okay, and now here is where we're going to need to start actually doing some stuff. Okay, so what do we do? We can do that and then clean up what we don't want. Is rock receiver. We don't need the map to. Maybe we don't need the compilation just yet, but we'll determine that. So in every candidate invocation, okay, this is where technically we need to var invocation symbol is equal to, well, okay, that just showed that I need that. So why did I do it that way? Should put a to-do in here because we shouldn't be calculating the model for every, well, wait a minute. No, we do. Okay, I'm incorrect. I guess we do need to get the model for every candidate invocation. Okay. Invocation symbol is going to be model get method body diag. No, we want to get. I never remember what symbol, declared symbol and closing symbol invo. This will be, which one is it? You know, candidate invocation. And then symbol, no, not containing. This is a, as I method symbol. Okay. All right. So we assume I assume that I actually have an invocation symbol. Sorry, it took me a second. But what I really want to do here is say var rock create symbol. Now, how am I going to do this? Is there a way to say context compilation get type by metadata name? And what was the metadata name here? Full name. Okay, so if we say get type by metadata name, type of rock. Okay. And we say get meth members. Well, this is a type, right? It's a name type symbol. Okay. Get members that have a particular name. Can't you just say methods? Because if it's a type, you'd think it would have methods, but what would I know? What would I know? So override this type. Returns collections of names of members declared within this type. That's not what we want. I guess we just say get members dot single name. And what is that a string? Is that a textual string? Is equal to name of rock dot create. And we're going to just assume that we're going to get that back because that's what we do. Okay. If, and this is where I did something. Yeah, we want to say rock create symbol equals invocation symbol equality compare dot default. We do not care about nullability. So if this is actually coming from rock.create on my thing, then we're good to go. So it's a little bit of a safety check. It might be pushing, a little bit overboard on that one, but that's okay. Great. Now we have to actually say on the invocation symbol, generic. It is a generic method. I know that. Arity, that's the number of type parameters it takes. A non-generic has 0. Yes, I know. But how do I actually get the type arguments? That would make sense. Type parameters. If nothing has been substituted, then type parameter itself is considered type argument. Okay. So we need to get the 0th one. Okay. And again, I'm assuming a little bit of happy path here. Var type to mock is equal to that. Okay. Okay, great. Now what do we do? What we need to do is generate a whole bunch of stuff. Which that's saying a lot. I'm going to do preview here. We're going to bring up good old console app 4 because of reasons. And this is the one that actually had my little example of what we need to do. So we need to say here that, okay, what do we do in inline mapping? We say generate mapping. So we're going to say here, private, kind of the same thing that I would imagine we're doing here. Did I have to? No, I hit prints. Did I? No, stop. No, cancel. Stop. I hit the wrong thing. No, you don't know what you're doing. Stop it. Stop it. Jeez. Okay. So something like this. Okay. So we're going to say immutable. We're going to say source text. And what we're going to pass in is what is this I type symbol? Yes, an I type symbol. Type to mock. Okay. And all we really want to do in this case is we're not going to check for anything right now. All I want to see is, can I generate the static class? Okay. So if I come back over here and I look at this, my text is source text. Okay. So we're going to say var text is equal to source text from, and then we're going to do a whole bunch of, right? Yeah. Oh, you're just going to flip it around even though it's supposedly not supposed to matter, right? So what we want is a public static class of I expectations of something that, but not so fast, Johnny. I have no idea where that just came in my head. What we want is an expectations, because that's actually what we're, expectations of, and what we want to pass in here for now is the type to mock name. That's it. Okay. And we'll build from this. Okay. We'll build from that, but that's okay for now. And so what we're going to do then is say diagnostics to mutable list. What is diagnostics, you might say? Well, that's a great question, Jason. Diagnostics is this thing that we create up at the top here because we want diagnostics. Okay. And what we're going to call this file here is type to mock.name. Again, that's not individualistic enough, but it will work for now. Underscore mock.g.cs, that text. Okay, so if we start writing a test for this, okay, and I say tests, okay, and I say public static class that, and I say I want to write a test, come on. Should really get rid of those test C and other ones because they're just annoying. I need actual, no, stop it. Jesus. Public static void generate happy path for now. Okay. All right. So what do I do in inline mapping when I do tests? I do something like this. Okay. And so what we're going to say is we're rock generator test, get generated output. What is get generated output, you may ask? Well, it's code that we're going to copy and paste because professional coders copy and paste. That's what they do. Okay. Yep. So bringing all this stuff in. We do not need to bring in map to attribute though. Or do we? Yeah, I'm not sure if we really do, but we're going to bring it in anyway because we change inline mapper and that works just fine there. Okay, so now what we want to do here is say public interface IMOC, which has nothing in it yet. Okay. Can I get away with this? Can I get away with just saying like that can't work, can it? Public static class test. I'm just guessing here. Public static void generate. Okay. And what we want to put in here is var rock is equal to rock.create of IMOC. Boom. Okay. And we're going to say in here, because we're good citizens of the world, using rocks. Okay. All right. So we're bringing that in, static class var rock is equal to that. What we would expect is that we have no diagnostics. We would expect that this would contain public static class expectations of IMOC extensions. And that's really the only thing we're going to check for now. Okay. Did that work? Do we get lucky? You feeling lucky? Yeah, it failed. It failed horribly. String contains public static class exception. It has nothing. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go and yep, moron alert, moron alert. Okay, so we come back down here and we say if that. We've got to come down here. You've got to do these things. You've got to do these things. We need to say rock generator type to mock. Okay. And because we're not in the right language here. Got to be in the right language. Lang version. Override it here. Lang version 9.0, baby. There we go. And now you should go away and you're good. We also need to do that in the test just to be consistent. Lang version, boom. All right, now if we come back to the tests, it will still fail, right? Why'd you fail this time? Because you're still empty. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're learning. So let's start here. Okay, and we're in release. We're going to change the debug. We're going to run this test in debug mode. Okay, we got compilation. Do we have any candidates? Yes, we do. So what do we have here? We have a semantic model, which is fine. Now we need to get the declared symbol. And what is that? That is null because it is nothing. That is an invocation expression. Okay. Great. Well, what is this? Nothing? No. Of course it is. Why would it be anything else? Symbol. Ha. Yeah, I did the wrong thing. Get type name. Oh, bite me. It is a method symbol. Yeah, so we need to say get symbol info. Yeah, I did that wrong. That was my fault. I should have known better. Whoa, wait, whoa, whoa, wow. Get symbol info dot symbol. There we go. Let's break this test again. Let's see what doesn't work. Still failed. Okay, that's fine. We're learning. We're learning. Okay, we get that. We get that. That. Invocation symbol takes forever. But it does come back and it says, you're good. Does this fail? No, it does not. But we do get a rocks creative T, rocks rock creative. Oh, they're not going to be the same. Yeah, they're not going to be the same. The reason why they're not going to be the same is because this one is a closed generic type because I passed something in here. This is going to be an open generic type. So yes, they're not going to be equal. Okay, fair enough. That's true. What we want here is yeah, this one's going to be a little tricky. Constructed from. What is that? Returns a method symbol this method was constructed from. The resulting symbol has the same containing type, if any, but has type arguments that are the same as the type parameters. Although its containing type might not. That's clear as mud. Returns a method symbol that this method was constructed from. Okay. The resulting method symbol has the same containing type, if any, which should, but has type arguments that are the same as the type parameters. Although its containing type might not. I think this is what we want. What is constructed from? Is that a invocation symbol? Oh, you know what? Symbol not. This is basically saying, yes, I know what I'm doing. Okay. Constructed. Why are you still saying converting null literal possible null nav? Symbol. Thank you. Okay. Let's take rid of this. Do that. Debug this test. Do a little dance. Hey! 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 You say you're good, but I don't believe you. Oh, look at that. We're generating source code. We're like 95% done. No, we're not. We are far from done. Far from done. But this is another step. This is actually doing the right thing because, you know, the interesting thing with, you know, that I'm kind of being, again, I'm being very defensive. And if somebody else would create their own rock create method, passing in a generic, you know, well, what would you do? And in this case, I'm only doing this. Now, the next part, which I may do in another episode later, it is a vacation weekend, but this is kind of relaxing to me, is to start going through, and again, I need to check to say, is the type given actually mockable? Is it an interface? Does it have members? Does it, you know, because if it isn't, then you can't mock it. So great. In this case, what do you actually do? Well, I need to start creating extension methods off of the expectation of this, putting in all the argument types, the parameters. And again, we'll start slowly. We'll just assume that they're all ins. We don't have refs or outs or pointers or anything like that. We're going to do very simple stuff. Okay. And I'm going to kind of swap the code that I took from Rocks itself and see, can I get a method in here that is going to set that up? And then can we add a make? Okay. And then well, we can't do a make. We'll try to do a method first. Okay. And actually, let me put this in here because I'm going to commit this and then, okay. To do. 1, create mock extension methods. Okay. 2, actually create the mock itself. That's going to take some time because that's what we need to do. Like generate this, which I already know how to do, but now I got to do it again and do it right. Okay. 3, create a make returning a mock type. And 4, somehow verify. Those will be the happy basic steps, and then we'll move on from there. But this is another baby step, but it's a good one. 0. Debate adding an indented text writer. I really think this is going to be necessary because if I want to actually generate code that's actually going to look decent, like I've seen here in inline mapping, this is just a cluster. This is not easy to read at all. And there's really no good, what does this actually look like? And what is the source code going to look like? I think if I clear this up to say, right line, indent, right, and then possibly reading, and I don't know if you can do this, reading in dot editor config white space choice. Like what is your default? What do you want? And maybe you don't have an editor config, so maybe you're in Visual Studio or something else, and what does that configure to? That might be really, really, really hard to do. But it's the big thing is indented text writer. It's in the code dom namespace. I'm like, can't I just write my own? Do I really want to bring in the code dom for this stuff? It's just a type. I mean, is it really that big of a deal? But I don't know. I think it would be better if I just started writing it as it should be. And that way it'll be easier to control indentation, and it will be easier to control. It'll be easier just to figure out what I'm actually doing and where I'm doing it, because I can actually have in here, write, indent, pass in the writer to now generate all the mock extension methods, and it can do all the indentation that it needs to do. And I can also then, create the mock type, which is going to be, I can generate this. Yeah, I'm stupid. I can technically generate this because this is just a string. At some point, you're going to actually generate this class. You know what I'm saying? So you can just pass that in, and or you can generate this and then actually generate the mock type. It won't be correct code until this is actually done, because this will be like, I have no idea what rock something is. But yeah, so we can actually say, we'll switch the order on this. Okay, so I will commit this and potentially do another episode later tonight and keep moving, baby steps in this one. But again, it's another victory. We do have source generation being put in, and again, just the happy steps to get to this part, and then we're gonna do more and more cleanup. But this is going well. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.